those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those in town making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm very fortunate to have with me Joanna Dowling, the President and Director of the Custom Group Center for Manufacturing and Technology. Joanna, that was a mouthful, but thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And so we're going to be diving into a few of the great things that you guys have and do here in Woburn, especially the training programs that you do. But just tell us a little bit about you and why you're here to talk to us today.
Okay, well, we want to promote all the great things that we do in Woburn here. We're a local manufacturing company. We've been in business in Woburn since the late 60s. And we plan on staying here in Woburn and keeping manufacturing alive.
Wonderful. And so I just found out today it's a family-owned and operated business.
Yes.
You mind just telling us a little bit about the backstory? Because I was taken aback just now talking with you about it.
Yeah. So my dad started the business in the late 50s. He's an immigrant from Italy, and he came here and worked a little bit and then started his own manufacturing company, a machine shop, as he would say. And he started off in the basement of our home, and then he moved it to Woburn. And he's been in Woburn ever since.
Saw some progression there too. He outgrew a couple of facilities, and now you've landed at the Nashua location for what, since the 80s?
Yes, I believe it was Jefferson Ave, then Fowle Street, and now Nashua Street.
Nashua Street.
Yes.
And the facility is a large facility.
Yes, we have about 68 employees currently at the facility. And my brothers are both engineers.
Really?
They run the manufacturing floor and operations on doing all the heavy lifting for the business, which is nice. And but like I said, they're both engineers by trade. I had another brother who passed away that was running the CFO. He was the CFO of the business.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, so he was basically the money man and brains of the operation. So, but we started the training facility that in 2008 we had an idea, not myself, my brother Carl decided that he wanted to pursue a certified operator training program on our floor. We had a great need for talent, and we decided to start a certified operator training program. Once that was established and functioning on our floor, we decided to open it up to the general public.
So tell us a little bit about that experience. So that rollout, you said 2008, you guys made that transition. How were the first couple of years? Was that a big challenge? Was it a smooth sail? What did it look like?
A lot of gray hair.
A lot of gray hair happened between 2008 and 2010?
Yes, exactly. So we started off, it was a slow-moving process because we weren't familiar with the vocational licensure process, so it was a very long process. But we struggled, and we basically made it through the crest of the hill, and we started off with the first of a training grant program in 2009. It was through a training grant program through Merrimack Valley Workforce Development, and we started working with them. And then we started working with the local workforce investment boards. I sat on one of the chairs. I was the chair for 2 or 3 years with the Metro North Regional Employment Board. So I got familiar with the Workforce Training Fund program and workforce training in the state of Massachusetts.
So that was a learning experience for you guys, for sure, those first early years.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I grew personally and professionally, I think, a lot. I was able to understand a little bit more about the workforce needs, not just for us, but for the community, which was really important for the school and the training facility. So now we've evolved, and we do a lot of corporate training for local machine shops throughout Massachusetts. We've even had some people come in from Rhode Island, Southern Maine. So we work with other machine shops, our competitors as well, for training their employees. So it's not only our employees, but also who all can go through the training program, but it's also our competitors and people that want to get into the trade.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different avenues that you can go even within this sleeve of the custom group, it sounds like.
Absolutely. So it's a separate business. I am no longer involved in machine shops, but I handle the training facility. And Carl couldn't handle both, so I went into that role. I did work in production for years with the machine shops in the office and in sales, but I really truly enjoy what I'm doing right now.
Well, that's fantastic. That's good to hear. So it sounds like a good transition.
Love it.
Good. That's great. So tell us a little bit about the mission of the manufacturing of the technology side of things. What are your goals? What are some of your core values?
So my core values for the school and for actually all of Custom Group is to keep manufacturing alive. We want to make sure that we can support local industries out of the state, in the state. Want to make sure that we can we have the infrastructure for that. When work does come into the state, we can support it. So we're involved with the Boston Tooling and Machining Association, through also with the Advanced Manufacturing Collaborative, to make sure that curriculum is written so that these people and students that go through the curriculum or go through the trades programs, whether it be at Woburn High School, they have an opportunity to grow and to get into sustainable jobs, because it is a career pathway. There are careers in manufacturing.
Certainly, absolutely. And you mentioned Woburn High School, and on our way in, you had said something about somebody taking a recent tour. I don't want to spoil that. You mind highlighting that a little bit for us?
Sure. So Paul Hayes, Advanced Manufacturing Day in Massachusetts was last Friday. So we hosted a tour. Carl did had a tour of, I believe it was like 8 or 10 students came from Woburn High School. Spent about an hour and a half with them touring around, and then they went to Boston Centerless up the street. So they were able to expose students, local students, and high school students to what an advanced manufacturing career is. They got to see the office, the operations side of things. So it was fun for us to showcase what we do.
Especially being here right in Woburn, right? That must have been a lot of fun. Just in the I imagine being a student and really enjoying getting to go through a facility like that and taking a tour.
So we do a lot with other machine shops through the Boston Tooling and Machining Association, but a lot of shops, they do sponsor national robotics leagues. So if schools have a robotics program, machine shops step in, they make the parts for them so they can have their design built and battle in the battle zones of...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a really cool, if any machine shops ever want to, or any tinkerer wants to get involved, it's a great way to foster a kid or a program to get involved in any sort of advanced manufacturing, because they do the design, they do the build, they actually learn project management skills, they learn collaboration with other students. It's a really great opportunity for kids to develop those skill sets that they can bring forward into the workforce.
I know my nephew, he's 11 years old, and he recently got into the robotics field, and that has just been unbelievable for him and his growth and his development as a heading into a teenage years.
Yeah, your future engineer.
And he's brilliant at it too. It makes me smile watching him talk about it, or watching him do it and hearing him talk about it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for any kids to get exposed to any sort of engineer, because that's your future design engineer, or a medical design for a medical device or anything. So robotics really transfers into a lot of different fields. And if someone doesn't want to go into become a mechanical engineer, they can go to a program in Boston at Ben Franklin Institute of Technology, or any type of college setting. They have technologist programs that you can get other different types of degrees. If they don't want to be an engineer, they want to be a technologist or a machinist. There's so many different pathways that you can.
Wonderful. And so what kind of students do you guys typically target or go after? I know it's a kind of a loaded question. You're bringing people in for tours. You're trying to get the education out there. It sounds like that's a huge part of what you do. For the training avenues, it sounds like there's a couple different. So your target student might be different as well. Do you just want to elaborate on what kind of trainings you have, or the differences of them?
Yeah, so for your regular student that's coming in that hasn't had any exposure to machining, that's real green, they would take a 19-week course, 380 hours, that gives them exposure to manual machining, inspection, blueprint reading, and some CNC. We teach the traditional method of machining. We believe that you have to learn how to make it manually before we teach anyone CNC, because that gives them a well-rounded approach. So, and then someone has had exposure to machining or need some refreshed skills to get a job promotion, they can come to us for a short week, short class rather, for 60 hours or 50 hours. We can refine their skills as well.
Okay.
And then if there's a corporate training, we customize corporate training all the time, whether it be for GD&T, blueprint reading, CNC programming, Mastercam programming. There's a whole different platform. So it's really like a la carte. You can pick and choose what you want. And all of our teachers are licensed by the state of Massachusetts through the DPL. So they have occupational experience as well.
Okay.
So you're actually getting, taught by someone that has had the exposure. So you're getting a well-rounded approach on the education side of things.
So 19-week course to get you really up to speed. You can boil it down even faster for somebody that needs to brush up on certain skills.
Yes.
And you can work with an entire corporation and even some of your competitors, like you've said, to implement training programs themselves, or do you work with them?
So we work with them. They come to us to help them refine their skills.
Okay.
So it's really, it's a community effort. So we want to make sure that, everyone around is in the same level playing field, So if one of our competitors has an employee that they want to send to us, there are grant funds available through the state of Massachusetts that they can come to the school, that we can, train them through the grant funds as well. There's so many. The state of Massachusetts is really supporting manufacturing with grants, and for companies that have the ability to apply for a grant or need a resource, they can seek out any type of funding through the state, and hopefully that they'll be able to get that paid for. So there's a lot of support services through Workforce Training Fund, the Direct Access Program, through the apprenticeship program in Massachusetts right now. So there's a lot of moving parts, and it's really a spotlight on Massachusetts and manufacturing.
That's great. I would have never known that. And out of curiosity, because a lot of that goes straight over my head in all reality, some of your training programs, you had a couple of different ones. I know you were mentioning the Mastercam, 2D, 3D, the blueprint reading.
Yep.
What are some of the more common training programs that you're seeing people go through? Is it pretty evenly spread? Or?
I would say for businesses, what they're looking for is programming and CNC programming for their employees. If it was someone that came out of the street, like let's say your nephew graduated high school and wanted to come, he would come to a straight 19-week course.
Right, okay.
So those are the two most popular classes that we offer.
Somebody going through the 19-week course, coming out of high school, let's just say, kind of give them the tools to be successful. Is there some form of official certificate? Is that just an extra leg up on the competition heading into the job force? What would be the big benefit being a 19-year-old heading into a 19-week program?
So I look at it as they're getting 380 hours of hands-on training, because we're not sitting in a classroom talking about theory. They're actually machining parts.
Right.
They have instructors. The class sizes are very small. They have instructors that are like right there with them, and within week 2 they're cutting chips, which gives them an exposure over someone that is just doing theory-based learning. What's really important is that we also have the ability to offer NIMS testing, which is the National Institute of Metalworking Standards. So it's a national test that we don't write the curriculum, we don't teach the curriculum. It's kind of layered within the curriculum of all of our programs, that if someone wants to take this test, they have the ability to do that.
Okay.
So they make a part 100% complete, and they take a written test. Well, it's actually on a computer, but they take an online test, and they have to pass that at, we don't even know what the passing grade is on that, but it's either pass or fail.
Pass, fail, yep.
And that gives us credibility on our end that we're actually giving them skills that they can pass these tests.
Certainly.
And it gives them a badge and a certificate saying that they completed a national certificate.
That's what I was wondering, because I'm completely, like I said, blind to what the steps are to become a machinist or what it entails. So that's neat, though. They can take a national test, which is huge, because that's cut
and
and
there
dry.
are many different tests, so it's not just one. There's advanced level machining, there's blueprint reading, there's welding, there's sheet metal, there's a whole slew of different tests that you can offer. We only offer a few that relates directly to our curriculum.
That's fair.
But there are there's a lot of flexibility there as well. And the beautiful part about our program is that we're extremely flexible. with hours, with a corporate training that we are, we'll open up in the afternoons for certain customers, so that we allow the employees to still continue to work. And we can make the program a little bit longer if needed, if work gets in the way. So so there's a lot of different kind of customization that we do with us.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's fits the name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, but yeah, wow, it seems like you're flexible. You guys have many different areas and avenues.
And I have a personal goal, though. I want to see more women get involved in the trade.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that an uptrend yet?
We are.
Okay.
We are. I think the Legos, Lego robotics and stuff like that. They're actually getting girls more involved in Legos at a younger age, with like maybe making it into like a princess or something, or maybe putting some pink in there. But I think that we're seeing a little bit more of women getting involved in the trade, which is my personal mission to see that happen.
I'm gonna have to circle back with you in another year
Yeah.
or so and see how that's going, because that's really interesting. That's a
Yeah.
good personal goal to have.
Yeah, I think that would be something that I could, at the end of my career, say, yeah, I fostered a bunch of young women.
Now, if some young teenage girl, or it doesn't have to be a teenage girl, some girl out there sees this and says, that was just inspiring. I thought about it. I love that kind of robotics in high school or whatever it may have been. How should they reach out? Should they reach out to you directly? Should they reach out to the department? Come in for a tour?
Yeah.
What would be the best step?
So I would say check out our website, customtrainingcenter.com. Reach out to us via email. They can email me directly from the website, come in for a tour, schedule, and spend some time with me.
Wonderful. And do you guys do ongoing tours? I thought I saw something
Yes.
where you have a time frame set in that people can come in.
Yes. So we offer tours Monday through Thursday, 8 to 1. Make an appointment if you definitely want to meet with me. But we have an open door policy. With those hours, you can sit in, watch a class, come in for a tour, meet the instructors, talk about the curriculum, and see for yourself. We don't let anyone enroll unless they've actually come in and see if it's something for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. When does the 19-week program start and end? I assume there's certain class cycles. Do you do 1 a year? Do you do 5 a year?
So we have an open enrollment.
Okay.
So we usually open enroll every few months, so about a 4-month cycle.
Okay.
Our next enrollment will be sometime in January or February. We haven't established the date yet. We do have grant funds that come through. Scholarships that come throughout the year. People will donate scholarship money, or they'll apply for a grant. So keep checking our website out to see if there are, we'll post grant opportunities available for tuition-based grant opportunities.
Well, wonderful. We've learned a lot about the custom group and the training side of everything today. So I know I'm impressed, and I hope people out there listening have learned something.
Yes.
What are you guys doing in Woburn? Are you guys doing anything foreseeable in the Woburn community where you want to let people know, hey, come out, be involved, just out of curiosity?
I think in the spring we're going to try to do a robotics type of a spotlight per se, but we don't have anything planned at this point right now. But I will definitely reach out to you if we do.
Certainly. Wonderful. So I guess the moral is, if people want to get involved, check out the website, come in for a tour. I feel like the tour will be the most powerful, I can only imagine.
Yes.
And get women in the workforce, huh?
Yes.
That's the big mission.
Yes, in manufacturing.
In the manufacturing workforce. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good.
Well, thank you for this time.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Is there anything you want to kind of leave in closing? Tell us about your company before you go.
No, if you ever want to meet Cosmo, he's there.
Okay.
The founder of the business.
Yeah, you said he's still out there.
He's still there. He's teaching, and he's one of our favorite teachers because he really has a lot to give back. Ang and Bill and Tony, we're all there every day. Come say hello to us and see all the cool things that they do.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your organization, and
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing what's next for you guys. That's going to be great.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. And thank you for watching today's show with Joanna Dowling from the Custom Group. And remember, we all have one life to live, so let's all try to do our part. I'm your host, Tyler Gates. Join us again next time for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.